Hi, Chris. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. I guess it's not as sunny as a day as I've been fortunate to have, but still, look, it's smiling out there. So I'm really happy. How about you, sir?
I'm very well, Nergish. I'm very well. I'm really happy to be here in my little sunny kind of little office. So there we go, home office.
That's great. So Chris, I mean, you and I have known each other for a while. We've worked together in the past. And I mean, what can I say? I know pretty much most things to know about you, but it's from a barbering perspective. And I believe you've actually gone past some of that now, and you're involved in the whole industry. So I'd like you to introduce yourself in the stage that you're at now, and what are the things that you do. So for anyone listening, here's Chris Foster, and he's going to tell us what he does.
Hi guys, my name is Chris Foster, and I call myself now the profile guy. So what I've done over the past 20 years, I've learned many valuable lessons in this industry, and I feel that it's my duty now to help other people build their profiles so they can achieve the goals and dreams that they set out many years ago. And a lot of people in our industry gets very sidetracked with, and they don't know where to go or what to do. And I really want to help people navigate that process, because I've been there. I know what it feels like to think, oh, I don't need another haircutting course. I need something else, but don't know exactly what that is. So yeah, that's what I do now. I coach, I mentor, I run programs, and that's what I do now, really, which I enjoy doing. I enjoy helping people.
Well, I can see you're traveling the world. You're doing some extraordinary things with your career. And I mean, that just puts a smile on my face. And of course, you're busy on our advisory board as well at the PHAB Service Stars. So thank you for that. Right. So I'd like to quiz you a little bit about things. And I was first going to ask you, and here's my trusted sheet of research. Is it safe to say that you're one of the most prolific session hairdressers and movie set-based hairdressers now?
Well, I would say I enjoy that side of what I do. I still have a column in the refinery Mayfair. So I still have a column. I still do session work. I've worked on campaigns for Gucci, the 100-year campaign. I do, fashion shows for Versace, Dior. I still have my hands in the session world, but I still run a column as well as coaching. So I wear many different hats. So yes, you can say I do work in that part of the world. Yes.
Well, what can I say? That's impressive for a start. But let's just move on from there now to say, how do you feel about in reality, how do you feel about the connection between business success and creative success? Because, I've always believed that there are some conundrums out there that say, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? For me, it's quite clear. You have to be business savvy in order to function behind a chair, behind a beauty bed, behind a nail station, to then progress out to other things. I think you have to make your stamp felt there. So is your view similar, or is it different to that? And could we all share it here?
Yeah, sure. I think what's really important is, in my eyes, when it comes to branching out from beyond the chair and growing a strong profile within any industry, you do need to have a good foundation of business and consistency and vision. So vision for me is important. Yes. And the consistency of constantly showing up, sharing that vision with the world will help people align your values and your belief systems to what you want to do, and they attach to that. So I found in my career, when I started to put my work forward and constantly and consistently put my work forward with the viewpoint of, if I show up every day, if I'm early, if I look after my clients, I then can do the same for big clients, like if I'm, some of my celebrity clients, if I'm showing up consistently for them and giving them the results that they're looking for, it can only spill on and do other areas of what I do.
But
So
that builds trust, doesn't it? It
of course,
automatically builds trust, and there comes the recommendation then.
of course, and it makes, it makes the person who is consistently showing up with that vision, with that viewpoint, be the one that they want to go work with. And that's what I think is really important, that people constantly see what you're doing, your belief systems. Is it, again, a certain type of creativity work, be consistent with that, and that's what really wins the day, I believe.
So you would have learnt that behind the chair in a salon to start with, wouldn't you? Because consistency there meant that you showed up for every client every time at the same time when you said you would be there for them. So it's a discipline that goes throughout, even when you're at the top of your game, like you are with celebrity clients just now. Was it different for you? Did you not show up? Now, look, I'm actually asking you a false question because I know the answer to that, because you've worked behind a chair and I've witnessed it. But you have been consistent in everything you do. Your delivery is consistent in everything you do. No?
I would say I haven't always been that way. I'm human.
Oh, wow, this is so fabulous.
No, I'm human, and there's times when in the past I realized that when I lost my way, it was I wasn't taking those positive small steps. It's like anything in life. They say if you wake up late one day and consistently wake up late, then there's a pathway that goes a certain direction. And if you make small steps to like I went for a run. So every day I go for a run. I know I win the day daily by making the right decisions. So when I go into the salon, I know that, okay, I'm going to wear a jacket. I wear a jacket because I want to look smart. When I went to travel to Italy, I love Italy because they always wear jackets.
Oh my God, they're jackets.
They're always showing up.
I mean, they're just sewing to their looks. It's honestly, I don't go to Italy without a bag this big of makeup, because my idea of not wearing makeup and just throwing on some lipstick just doesn't work there.
Yeah, and it's just showing up in the right outfit. I'm ready for work, and that's my outfit. My clients know that's my outfit. At work, I could wear anything I want. I could wear ripped jeans if I want to, but I want to wear a blazer. They know Chris is going to wear a blazer today, and it's consistent with the look. And that consistency goes through all that I do. So I can't remember where I was going with this.
You were basically starting by saying you weren't always consistent.
This is it. I wasn't always consistent. And then when I lost my way a bit and I was slightly more confused, when I didn't have a mentor that helped me, that guided me and put me back on the right path, that really helped me move forward. And I believe mentors are really important, or having that system around you, that when you do lose your way, that there is somebody to hold you accountable. And I didn't have someone holding me accountable. I was doing what I felt I wanted to do, and that wasn't really positive for me. I was making very small decisions the wrong way rather than decisions the right way. Now, like I say, things have turned around for me because I'm consistently showing up. I've now, with my podcast, different things that I'm doing, even though maybe I feel no one to listen, it doesn't really matter. I'm consistently showing up, and that really does help, with everything that I do.
So beautifully explained and so valuable to so many people in the industry. Mm-hmm. Small changes, guys, small changes, and it'll make the difference. So you were brought back onto your path, and then it worked. When you became consistent in the delivery, it worked. It just shot you to another level. How wonderful. Look at this. So what are your plans going out of COVID? Although I don't think you've really relaxed your plans, or unless something else is cancelled, I think you've always shown up for something, haven't you? You've not let COVID get in your way, or have you?
Definitely not. Throughout COVID, even through lockdown, I was teaching how to teach online and sharing my skills with other hairdressers and barbers that were very frustrated. I saw the meltdown on social media of people just didn't know what to do or how to navigate the change. I've just read a book recently of Who Took My Cheese, and the whole industry is shifting. Whether we like it or not, people can sit and complain that someone's taking their cheese. They can blame somebody else, or they can take steps to shift. So what I love right now is the industry is shifting so much right now, and I actually think it's the most exciting time to be a hairdresser, and it's exciting time to be a barber, because you cannot rest on your laurels. You can't rest on, oh, that show, we're going to go to that show next year because it's always been there. It might not be there this year.
Correct.
Things have changed that much. So we now have to look at how we interact with people, because now people are on their devices more. They're not as, there are so much things have shifted. So for me, moving in 2022, it's now helping people to navigate that process by helping them digitally with their education or digitally build their brand. So that's why, again, my profile work is building their brands, because I've noticed, young people, YouTubers making a ton of money and they don't have any experience. And why is it as hair professionals, there's so much years behind the chair and all this information to give, but not be able to monetize that. So my shift in 22 is really serve my industry with that information and do either by knowledge or a done for you service.
Wow, fantastic. And even if a Luddite like me can get on and start doing Zooms, and my business really suffered because I train overseas, and suddenly it was not safe to travel at all. And of course, no one would come out to attend the courses. So I had to learn very quickly. And my fundamental belief of not being on social media had to change overnight. My children, who basically laughed at me for, I think, 2 days solid, had to actually, I'm the oldest person that went on Facebook ever in the history of time. I've never had any social media accounts, and all my business went straight on, and I had nowhere to go. I had to do it. So you're absolutely right. But now the shift is coming, according to you, that you actually have to move forward and work out a way to monetize your skill, your special knowledge, your special ability. How wonderful. And so could I ask what's new for you then in 2022? You've answered a lot of it, but are there special projects that you're working on that you can share with us or not?
Yeah, I mean, one of my biggest projects that I'm launching this towards the end of last year is called Hair Academy in a Box. And Hair Academy in a Box, again, is a done-for-you service that helps people start their online business without any overwhelm, because I've literally do it for people. I help them with their websites, I build the funnels, I give them the strategy to get people to recognize who they are, and then to give them the strategy of them getting paid for sharing knowledge. Different ways, either through a membership site or through a course or through the whole concept of building that trust online so they can, they have these memberships. Because I also think, one thing about memberships are that, some of the biggest organizations, the Netflix and whatever else, they have this constant reoccurring income. So what I help people do is have this reoccurring income. It made me survive during the lockdowns and stuff like that. And I want to be able to share that with other people, because if you have that consistency, you don't have the famine and feast that happens sometimes, when things go bad. You just have this consistent flow of income.
Yeah, I mean, just a little revenue stream or a large revenue stream, just backing you up with what you're doing in real life. How fantastic. We were talking about having high standards, and you've said that you do have higher standards now, since that little place where you got lost in the career path and then a mentor brought you back. So now let's just say that, where did your higher standard philosophy come from? What was it that changed? What was it exactly, I guess, in your case, because you're saying that they are much more raised now. So could you give us a definitive, an example of something that is now you're functioning at a higher level than you were?
Well, from the beginning of my career, I had a mentor who taught me barbering, and his name was Audie Cummins. And it was this establishment called Audie's Professional Hair Studios. And for him, it was a barbershop in North London, in Tottenham to be precise. And those standards were set from there, right at the beginning of my career. I then went into college, and then from college, I kind of, you kind of learn a few bits. Then I went into Selfridges and worked in Selfridges.
Which is where we met.
Where we met, exactly. So there was a point where I got very, I started to do shows and that sort of thing. I started to build a profile for myself. But where it changed, or I had to accelerate that a bit more, was I went to Mayfair and I got complacent. I just got complacent, and that's bottom line. You have this consistent clients coming through, and you think everything's going to be okay. And I think the blip was in 2008 when the recession happened, and I saw my clients literally vaporize before my eyes. I realized, one, I couldn't depend on one source of income. That's one. Okay. The second was I had to up my game to actually make sure my clients stick with me. And that in that particular moment, in that particular time. So just by, being in a very affluent part of London, you just think, oh, well, it's all good. The good times are always going to roll. And literally, I remember I was in the salon, 2008, I had a client sat down in the chair, and he had his BlackBerry, he was on his phone, and he just says, Chris, stop, I've got to go. Clearly, it was a meltdown financially. And all the clients in that area are all hedge funders. So this is their, this is all the clientele. And literally weeks and weeks after that, things started to drop, things to fall off. And again, change happens. Those things happen. And it's important that, I wasn't prepared for that change. I wasn't. So with that, I realized I have to up the standard, and also realize that, one, I have to always look at different things because change happens.
Absolutely. Wow. So that's where you are now, from learning it from the 2008 disaster that we had.
Disaster,
you were better prepared really for COVID than most in the industry. How wonderful, and what a lesson to have learned. Fantastic. I guess I'd leave the last word for you to say to the industry. If there's any advice you can give them going forward into 2020, and that's not just barbers, but we're now talking to hairdressers and beauty therapists and nail technicians and managers of business. Is there anything you want to say to them? One last word to function highly in 2020.
I would say, you've got me here now. If you're not functioning where you should be, really be around people and be with organizations that help you function at that high level. And I believe the PHAB Service Stars to be a place where people really want you to succeed. So it's important to feel supported and to constantly be around people who are high achievers. You can only achieve better things if you're around people that are achieving higher than what you are. Because like I said, when those times happen, when you think, oh my goodness, what's happening right now? You just need to be around people who are just like, I've been there before, I know how to work this out. Let's just talk this through, rather than blind panic. And in our own selves, if we don't have that support network, blind panic kicks in. But if you have the support, that's what's really going to get you through any particular challenge.
Wow. Firstly, thank you for those kind words. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your time today to have done what you do. And, where do people contact you if they want to go forward with a second revenue stream or help with their website, etc.? What's the best place to contact you?
Well, you can check me out on theprofile.guy. So in Instagram, the profile guy on Instagram, or you can find me on my website, The Profile Guy. So www.theprofileguy.
Lots of ways to contact you. And I wish you well for a fantastic 2022. And I know you've already booked your holidays, which is lovely. That's a positive thing to do. I guess I'll be seeing you around in the industry as I always do. And thank you so much for your time, Chris Foster.
Thank you, Nergish.